Have you ever really stopped to think about what it takes to build a human from scratch? It's way more than just weird cravings and vitamins, you know? It's this incredible 9-month-long biological masterclass. So today, we're going to dive deep into the nutritional science that literally turns food into the future. Let's get into it.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle the why, the absolutely mind-blowing biological mission of pregnancy. Then, we'll get into the what, the specific fuel needed for this massive project. After that, we'll cover the how with some real-world practical strategies. And to wrap it all up, we'll see why this whole 9-month journey is an investment that pays off for a lifetime.
So, first things first, let's establish the core mission here. What is the body actually trying to pull off during these 9 months? Well, it's all about fulfilling what's called a physiological mandate for unbelievably rapid and complex growth.
At its heart, the number one job is to support this explosive fetal growth. And to do that, the body sets up this incredibly sophisticated biological supply chain. Think about it. It's a system designed to deliver exactly what's needed precisely when it's needed. It is a logistical marvel, truly.
And this whole expansion, it's so much more than just building the baby. Just look at all the different systems in play. The body has to build all the fetal tissues, of course, but it also has to create the entire life support structure, like the placenta. And at the same time, it's expanding the mother's own tissues and dramatically cranking up her blood volume just to handle the incredible workload.
Now, this is where it gets really smart. The placenta, it's not just some passive filter. Oh no, it's a highly intelligent gatekeeper. It lets in the good stuff, like water and vitamins, but it actively pulls in specific building materials, like amino acids. So why does it stop big proteins from getting through? Because the fetus needs to build its own unique proteins, right from square one. The whole system is designed for total safety and maximum efficiency.
But, and this is so cool, there's a fascinating exception to that no large proteins rule. One very specific maternal antibody, called IgG, gets a special VIP pass. It's actively escorted across the placenta. This is, for all intents and purposes, a gift of immunity from mother to child, a gift that provides protection against infections for more than 6 months after birth. Just amazing.
Okay, so that's the why. We've got this complex mission to build and support a new life. Now let's get into the what, the actual fuel and raw materials required for the job, starting with the big stuff, the macronutrients.
Let's talk energy for a second. Check out this chart. In the first trimester, surprise, you don't need any extra calories at all. But then, bam, a 240-calorie jump in the second trimester, and then a massive 452 extra in the third. That's basically like adding a whole extra meal to your day. And here's the really crucial part. All those extra calories are there to protect your protein, to spare it, so it can focus on its most important job, building a tiny human. And speaking of protein, wow, the demand goes through the roof. A 30% increase might not sound like a huge number, but think of it this way. If you were building a house, this is the difference between having enough bricks to finish and running out of them halfway up the walls. This extra protein is absolutely non-negotiable. It's the foundation for literally everything. So where do you get all that extra protein? Well, animal sources like milk, meat, and eggs are super efficient. And if you're going for a vegetarian approach, the key is all about combination. Pairing things like whole grains with legumes and nuts to make sure you're getting the complete set of essential amino acids.
All right, we've covered the big building blocks. Now, let's zoom in on the specialized tools, the micronutrients. You can think of these vitamins and minerals as the skilled workers on our construction site, the ones making sure every single little detail is absolutely perfect.
Okay, 2 minerals are the undisputed MVPs here. First up is calcium. The demand is huge. We're talking 1,200 milligrams a day because you are literally building a brand new skeleton from scratch. Then there's iron, which is desperately needed to support that massive increase in the mother's blood supply we mentioned earlier.
And this right here is a perfect example of how nutrients work as a team. Vitamin A demand shoots up by 25% to help with growth. But look at vitamin D. Its main gig is to help the body actually absorb and use all that calcium we just talked about. You could have all the calcium in the world, but without vitamin D to unlock the door, it just can't get in to do its job. One is pretty much useless without the other.
And we can't forget about the B vitamins and vitamin C. Think of folic acid as the critical bodyguard for the developing neural tube. The other B vitamins, they're your energy crew, keeping the whole incredible operation running smoothly.
And vitamin C? That's the master architect, building the framework of all the connective tissues and blood vessels.
So, we've nailed down the why and the what. Now, let's get super practical. How do you actually manage all of this in your day-to-day life? This section is all about actionable wellness strategies you can actually use. Let's be real for a minute. Pregnancy can really do a number on your digestive system. But the good news is, there's a pretty simple fix: fiber. Just loading up on things like whole grains, beans, and fresh produce can keep everything, moving along, making you a whole lot more comfortable.
Another really common issue is nausea. The big strategy here is to rethink your meal timing. So instead of 3 big meals a day, which can totally overwhelm your system, switching to 5 or 6 small, frequent, and still nutritious meals can keep that nausea at bay while also giving you a nice constant supply of energy.
Okay, time for a quick safety checklist. Your doctor will almost certainly recommend iron and folic acid supplements. You gotta take them. Make sure you're using iodized salt for a healthy thyroid. And this should go without saying, but alcohol and smoking are a hard no. And those regular checkups? They are your best friend, so please don't skip them. These clinic visits aren't just random appointments, by the way. They're strategically timed to make sure you and your baby get the right care at exactly the right time. From essential vaccinations to crucial monitoring, this schedule is designed from the ground up to keep both of you healthy and safe.
So as we wrap this up, I want to just zoom out for a second. It's so easy to think of pregnancy nutrition as just this temporary 9-month diet plan, but it's so much more profound than that. It is a foundational, long-term investment.
This slide just captures the idea perfectly. Proper nutrition is doing 2 incredibly powerful things at the exact same time. You have the creation piece, building the child's lifelong health foundation. And then you have the restoration piece, making sure the mother's own reserves are replenished so her future health isn't compromised. It's this beautiful cycle that benefits 2 generations at once. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to ponder. When you really see the sheer complexity, the intelligence, and the deep purpose behind this biological blueprint, how does that change our perspective on the profound importance of those very first 9 months of life?